right, good morning. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. It's something that I've known about for a long time and I use in my daily driving, but most people probably don't know about, and that is how you can probably, because I don't know if this will work in everybody's city, control street lights, specifically the left turn arrows that are at some intersections. And right now I'm driving around town and I'm going to be going to a few Goodwills, and as I come to any intersection where I need to turn left, and if they have the appropriate type of sensors in the road, I'll show you how to manipulate them and get arrows to get the left-hand arrow when you might not normally get a left-hand arrow. So when that comes up, I will we'll come back. So I haven't gotten into any parts of town yet that I'm going to be doing this, but I thought I would explain what I'm doing so that when I actually get up to an intersection, I don't have to try and quickly explain it while driving the car. So there are two types, or two ways to control or manipulate the left-hand arrows at an intersection. Normally when you get to an intersection, you'll find that there are two sensors in the left-hand turn lane, and I'll try to put an illustration up showing approximately what these look like. The idea behind them is they're spaced far enough apart that the left-hand turn signal won't get priority unless there's at least 3 cars in the left-hand turn lane. Also, when you're doing this, many of these intersections require the sensor to be tripped sooner than about a minute, and I'm not sure of the exact timing, but it seems like it's about 1 minute before the light is going to change. So if you want to get a leading left arrow, then you need to arrive at the intersection and trip both sensors at least 1 minute before the light changes. Generally the way I do this is if I arrive at the intersection first and there's no other cars in the left-hand turn lane, I will pull into the left-hand turn lane and I will stop on the second sensor, or the one closest to the crosswalk, as far back on it as I can, forcing any other cars to stop on the second sensor. If the second car arrives at the second sensor before 1 minute before the light's going to turn green, we will get the left arrow. And then the opposite of that is if I pull into the left-hand turn lane and there's already a car and they're on the sensor closest to the crosswalk, I will park, or I will stop as far back as I can to trip the second sensor. That way, once again, I get the left-hand turn arrow. There are some intersections around town where, when there's not a lot of traffic, the left-hand arrow will not trigger at all unless there's at least 1 car in the left-hand turn lane. There's one intersection like that near the airport. When you leave the airport, you come to this left-hand turn and there's one sensor there. If and no car parks on it, you don't get an arrow. So I'll try to film a couple of examples of that in just a few seconds. Alright, let's see if this intersection will work. I don't think we're going to be able to use this one. We'll try it anyways. Nope, too late. Alright, let's try this again. This time we're going to... And of course there's no traffic coming up behind me. Oh, we're getting a car. He's pulling up behind me. Let's see if he gets here in time. Alright, we have a second car on the second sensor. So we should get the green arrow, and we did. Okay, let's see if we can do this. You can see I'm the first one in the parking space, and someone has just come into the second one. And we get the arrow. So you can see in this intersection, people got there to the light too late and don't get an arrow. Now we're coming up on this intersection, I said, where if you are the one in the left-hand turn lane, you will always get the left-hand arrow, and right now there's a gold van in the left-hand turn lane, and so he should get the green arrow before anyone else does. So everybody over there will be able to go and turn left, but we won't be able to go. And there you go. Because he was the only vehicle over there, he got a green arrow. In the left-hand turn lane, that is. Okay, so we're coming back up on that intersection, and to show you how this works, I'm going to get in the left-hand turn lane, and even though there's marks for two different sensors, I'm going to get to go left no matter what. If I had the time, I would drive back through here and go through and not get in the left-hand turn lane, so you could see that if you're not in here, you don't get the arrow. And there I got the arrow. So, what's the point of all this? Well, like I said, it won't always work, and it may not work in your city if you don't have the sensors, but pretty much most cities have them now. Your cities may work differently, and maybe they've got a third sensor, and that would make it even more difficult. But for the most part, if you're driving around town and you are paying attention, when you come up to an intersection and you want to turn left, and you note there's a car already in the left-hand turn lane, don't be an idiot and drive up right behind him and crowd up his ass. Park back a ways on the second sensor, and you'll both get to go quicker than you would if you just zipped up right behind him. Also, if you're leaving an area, like when I had to go to the airport late at night to pick someone up, and you're coming back out, if you got to that one intersection and you didn't get in the left-hand turn lane, the light actually was longer. If you got in the left-hand turn lane, you got a faster light. It actually turned green sooner. So once you know these little tricks, it can get you around town a little faster and make your life a little less aggravated. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed this, and see you later.